On the news, Senate confirms 3 additional ministerial nominees. Suspected terrorists abduct 5 varsity students in Katsina State. 1 suspect arrested. And Ondo Assembly asks Chief Judge to constitute impeachment panel on Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. Hello and welcome to News Now on TV 360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Adigun. The Senate has confirmed the ministerial nominee Abbas Balarabe, who fainted during his screening on Wednesday. The Senate also confirmed the duo of Jamila Ibrahim Bio and Ayodele Olawande, who were both nominated as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth, respectively. This comes a day after President Bola Tinubu wrote to the Senate seeking its confirmation of the nominees. Our correspondent, Tamilore Akinkwoliye, has more details.
Plenary resumed in the Senate on Wednesday with the screening of 3 additional ministerial nominees selected by President Bola Tinubu. The president had nominated Jamila Bio Ibrahim to serve as the Minister of Youth, Ayomide Olawande as the Minister of State for Youth, and Balarabe Abbas Musa as the Minister for Environment. About 2.5 hours after the exercise commenced around 1 p.m., Senate President Godswill Akpabio put the nominations to a voice vote. Highlighting the challenges faced by youths in the country, Jamila Bio during the screening exercise promised to make things better by easing the hardship faced by Nigerian youth.
Challenges that Nigerian youth are faced with: underemployment, unemployment, yes, and of course, poor access to health, access to affordable and quality healthcare, poor access to quality education, and of course, we are deprived of skills that will make us keep up with the current realities of the job market. So in my capacity as as a Minister of Youth Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my role, if confirmed, Mr. President, thank you, sir, if confirmed as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to pilot the affairs of the Youth Ministry, my first and most important role would be to inspire young people.
I'm likely the longest serving secretary of government.
However, in a dramatic turn of event, Balarabe Abbas Musa, who replaced the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, collapsed after concluding his introduction, causing several people present to rush to his aid. The nominee had spoken for several minutes during a screening before falling to the floor.
Can you say water, give me water. Water and sugar. Water and sugar. Get sugar, and water.
After a closed-door meeting, the senators eventually voted in favor of the nominees' confirmation. The first confirmation brings the total number of ministers that will serve in the administration of President Bola Tinubu to 48.
The Katsina State Police Command has confirmed the abduction of 5 female students of the Federal University Nsema. The resident revealed that the terrorists invaded the private residence of the victims around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, shooting indiscriminately. A spokesman for the Katsina Police Command, ASP Abubakar Aliyu, confirmed the incident, adding that a man suspected to be an informant to the terrorists had been arrested. No fewer than 20 suspects have been arrested by the Federal Capital Territory Police Command for capital and sundry crimes ranging from armed robbery, kidnapping, stealing and possession of hard drugs. The Commissioner of Police, Haruna Garba, revealed this at the command headquarters during the parade of suspects on Tuesday. Garba said the culprits were arrested after a series of successful operations aimed at curbing criminal activities within the FCTA. Our correspondent, Folashade Olusegun, tells us more in this next report.
Following credible and timely intelligence, police operation in the Federal Capital Territory has resulted in the arrest of these accused persons for their nefarious activities in the nation's capital and its environs. Some of the stolen items recovered from the suspects include weapons, live cartridges, stolen cars and ATM cards, as well as 36 bags of dry leaves suspected to be in their aim. 4 suspected armed robbers are among those paraded at the police command. One of them, the most wanted notorious kidnap kingpin in the FCT, Adamu Idris, is responsible for multiple kidnappings around Galadimawa, Apo, Lokoguma, and Kabusa.
You know, Ibrahim Mohammed, he call me since, he call me. I tell him, I mean, this thing I know feel good one. In time, he say, now one I do, make I do one. So I do one, come out the compost problem. So now him they talk to person, where made them give him money. Nothing they happen to the person. Like live and they go.
In a separate incident, two individuals threatening to kidnap a resident and his family if they fail to pay a sum of 7 million naira were arrested in a sting operation by Kabisa Division Police. One of them narrates their pattern of operation along the AYA Marabar acids.
We carry passengers as normal passengers, so when we get to a quiet place, we ask them what they have, we'll collect it from them, then our driver will stop, they will drop and we'll move. It's only phones, and phone and some little amount of money, sometimes 2,000, 6,000 in their hands. It's only what they have in hand we deal with.
Following the cases of alleged disappearance of male organs in the FCT, the CP says officers have arrested individuals who spread false information and incite public disturbances.
14 suspects so far who claim their male organ had disappeared were taken to the hospital, where the medical doctor confirmed that the male organ is intact and active. If the male organ is intact and active, I see no reason why an alarm will be raised. These suspects were subsequently charged to court for giving false information and inciting public disturbance.
Garba reiterated that the FCT Police Command remains committed to working with the community to combat crime effectively in the nation's capital. Flashade Olusegun reporting for TV 360.
Still on security, the Benue State Police Command has arrested 4 persons in connection with the murder of a former president of the customary Court of Appeal, Justice Margaret Igbeta, whose decomposing body was found on August 24, 2023. The Commissioner of Police in Benue, Bartholomew Onyeka, who revealed this while briefing journalists in Makurdi, said the principal suspect and nephew to the late Justice Audu Joseph orchestrated the murder. According to him, Joseph enlisted the services of one Zongwenen Uko, who worked in cahoots with the driver and gateman of the late Justice to gain access to her and stabbed her multiple times in the chest. While speaking to journalists, the principal suspect said he now regrets his actions, which stemmed from the refusal of his late aunt to hand over land title documents belonging to his late father to him after many failed family interventions. Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwoola, has said public opinion, no matter how serious or weighty it might be, cannot override or supersede the country's constitution. Ariwoola made the statement after the oath-taking of 23 new judges of the Federal High Court at the Supreme Court complex in Abuja on Wednesday. He charged the new judges to be impartial, fair, and apply justice in the work as their appointment at the country's perilous times was by divine ordination.
It is, however, crystal clear that public opinion, no matter how serious or weighty it might be, cannot override or supersede the Constitution of the country, which we aptly apply in deciding each case before the court. Nevertheless, your Lordship still owe your conscience and the generality of the Nigerian masses, particularly those who are looking up to you, the great responsibility of good moral rectitude and acceptable conduct to uphold and consolidate the trust reposed in you. Must be impartial, fair to all, and apply justice in all your undertakings. The times that we are in are quite perilous, so we need judicial officers who are calculative, honest, objective, and dispassionate. Thus, your appointment to the bench at this crucial period of your national history are not by accident, but by divine ordination. My lords, I congratulate you all for being counted first among equals I wish you every good thing that you can conveniently write on this new blank page that Providence has graciously opened in your lives. I congratulate your respective families as well and urge them to continue to remember you in their prayers at all times.
The Ondo State House of Assembly has given a fresh directive to the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Olusegun Odushola, to set up a 7-man panel to investigate the allegation of gross misconduct against the Deputy Governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa. The Assembly began the impeachment process against the Deputy Governor last week, serving him with a notice containing 14 allegations of gross misconduct. At Tuesday's plenary, the House disclosed that Ayedatiwa had yet to respond to the allegations. Majority Leader Oluwole Ogunmolasui thereafter moved a motion to direct the Chief Judge to set up a panel to commence Ayedatiwa's probe and was seconded by another member, Felix Afe. Just last week, the Deputy Governor had secured an interim order from the Federal High Court in Abuja restraining the Assembly from moving to impeach him. As part of proactive measures to reduce over-dependence on foreign drugs importation, the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control has called for local manufacturing of pharmaceutical ingredients in Nigeria. Speaking on Tuesday at the opening ceremony of a 4-day workshop in Lagos, the Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, explained that the move will aid the production of quality medicines in Nigeria. Comfort Samuel, our correspondent, files in this next report. Counterfeit drugs are a deadly and growing problem globally, and in Nigeria, as many as 267,000 deaths per year are linked to falsified and substandard medicines, according to the Transnational Organized Crime Threat Assessment. Stronger action is therefore needed to stamp out the menace. At this workshop, organized by the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, in collaboration with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, health experts have gathered to discuss possible solutions. In her presentation, the Director General of NAFDAC, Mojisola Adeyeye, says there is a need to create awareness and build capacity for local manufacturing of active pharmaceutical ingredients and excipients.
You have to be able to separate your product in a way that over and over and over you will know what is the elution time, the peak intensity and whatnot for your product. If it is a single product, it's easier. If it is a combination product, it takes more time. But that specificity must be determined. Next.
Health experts say local manufacturing of quality medicines will have a positive impact on the Nigerian economy. They urge the federal government to put in measures which will promote production of active pharmaceutical ingredient and excipient in Nigeria.
The whole idea about medicine security is a mirage. If we don't secure the base, then we cannot talk about medicine security. We are doing well with finished pharmaceutical products, but the time has come to focus on API.
What you're doing here today is extremely important because you are making Africa another avenue for building capabilities where if the world is in trouble, they should call on Nigeria to say, come help us, because we have tornadoes, we have pandemics. Can we find another region in the world that we can produce our actives or even our finished pharmaceutical product? So this is a global effort. Don't forget that it's not just for Nigeria, this is really for the world.
On his part, the federal lawmaker representing Onitsha North-South constituency, Obiajulu Emeka, says the legislature will ensure maximum support for NAFDAC on financing, local manufacturing, and support local research and development of vaccines and medicines.
I encourage our people to make sure that the standard of drug, the standard of food, the standard of cost, anything at all being produced here is raised to even match or even be better than that of the foreign one.
70% of pharmaceuticals in Nigeria should be locally produced, and this will boost and encourage local manufacturers, because by the time our people produce locally and we have preference for imported items, how do they make sales? So they will be discouraged. But with the national drug policy implemented, they will make profits, and there are other policies of governments that will enhance funding and capitals.
While analyzing the benefits of local manufacturing of APIs, health experts say this would reduce the importation rate to 30% and create room for African free trade. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency says it has released the names and photos of some recovered bodies of victims of the boat accident which occurred on Monday. The spokesman for the Nsema, Hussein Ibrahim, disclosed that 2 more bodies have been recovered from the river on Wednesday morning. The boat was carrying passengers from Kasabo village in Agwara local government area of Niger State to Yauri, Kebbi State before it capsized following heavy rains and wind. The Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has described youths in the sub-region as a beacon of democracy, deserving of attention and respect. The Speaker of the Parliament, Sidi Tunis, made the remark at the 5th legislature of the 2nd extraordinary session of the Community Parliament in Winneba, Ghana. According to Tunis, the youth are a catalyst that heralds the much-needed changes in the region, adding that engaging them in a just cause could take them off the streets. The Speaker confirmed that the Parliament would be promoting the establishment of the ECOWAS Youth Parliament, which guarantees the participation of young people in the scheme of things regionally.
I must indicate that I hold an extraordinary belief in the progress and development of this community, that we will turn the tide and return to the path of democracy, constitutionalism, and the rule of law, which are ever so predictable and hold the key to our common goal as a people. Notwithstanding the challenges that democracy is facing around the world and in our sub-region, I truly hold that it is still the only system that offers opportunities for growth and prosperity. It is therefore in our interest to align with, defend, and promote the sacred values of democracy. I also believe that considering the recent political trends across the region, focusing on youth in terms of their engagement in an organized forum is extremely timely and could sway them away from the temptation of engaging in vices that are detrimental to their overall development. With that said, we are fully prepared to promote the establishment of the ECOWAS Youth Parliament. We are convinced that an ECOWAS Youth Parliament could serve as a foundation of youth representation in formal political institutions such as parliaments, political parties, and other public institutions. The ECOWAS Parliament stands ready to work with the youth of our region in bringing together all the different youth assemblies with like vision and purpose under one umbrella aimed at establishing the ECOWAS Youth Parliament.
We'll take a short break here, but still to come, more than 75,000 U.S. healthcare workers begin a 3-day strike. Stay with us for details of this and other stories. Welcome back. A quick recap of our top stories. The Senate has confirmed the ministerial nominee Abbas Balarabe, who fainted during his screening on Wednesday. The Senate also confirmed the duo of Jamila Ibrahim Bio and Ayodele Olawande, who were nominated as Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth, respectively. This comes a day after President Bola Tinubu wrote to the Senate seeking its confirmation of the nominees. We also told you that the Katsina State Police Command has confirmed the abduction of 5 female students of the Federal University Nsema. Residents revealed that the terrorists invaded the private residence of the victims around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, shooting sporadically. The spokesman for the Katsina Police Command, ASP Abubakar Aliyu, confirmed the incident, adding that a man suspected to be an informant to the terrorists had been arrested. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store and Huawei App Gallery. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. In the world of business, manufacturers in Nigeria have emphasized the need for the sector to operate at full capacity in order to fully benefit from the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement AfCFTA. Renowned economist and university professor Adeolu Adewuyi gave the charge at the 6th annual general meeting of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria's Export Promotion Group in Lagos, where he said the government must work vigorously to promote the manufacturing sector. On his part, the chairman, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria Export Promotion, Odiri Erewa Megisin, pleaded that the government intervention will help Nigerian business compete on a global scale.
Manufacturing and successful implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Without production, there is no trade. So it is very important that we emphasize and re-emphasize this to the Nigerian government, such that for us to benefit from the African Continental Free Trade Area, the manufacturing sector must be vigorously promoted.
We need access to single-digit loans from the banks. We also need these incentives that helps you to build your business sustainably, because it makes it more palatable and you're able to compete versus products in London, in Singapore, in South Africa, wherever it is. So incentives are very critical. It's also important that we have access to FX for purposes of purchasing raw materials and machinery that would help you to export your products out of Nigeria. So without government supporting exporters, it's going to be very difficult for exporters to compete on a global scale.
You look at the issue of insecurity, you look at the issue of infrastructural deficiency, you look at the issue of forest scarcity for those who want to buy raw material from abroad. You look at the issue of high cost of credit for manufacturers to be able to access credit from the bank, high cost of credit affecting manufacturers. So you look at other issues that affect manufacturing, like a road. You also look at port congestions and all this. So incentives will be able to cushion the effect.
The International Air Transport Association, IATA, says air cargo demand in Africa dropped by 4.7% year-on-year in August 2022. According to data released by the aviation body for global air cargo markets, cargo demand grew for the first time in 19 months. IATA said the decline is significant relative to 2.5% growth recorded in July 2022. We'll take a short break here and return with a review of the stock market. Stay with us. Well, unlike previous day trading, the local bourse ended in the bears, depreciating by 0.43%, with the market cap standing at the 36.39 trillion naira mark, despite the market breadth ending with 29 gainers and 22 losers. On the losing side, Wema Bank PLC came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10%, share price depreciation followed by Ikeja Hotel, also with a 10% depreciation. At the end of trading on Wednesday, the Nigeria stock market exchanged a total of 657 million volume of shares valued at over 4 billion naira in 6,646 deals. Let's now switch to our select global stocks. It's a similar story. The markets ended in the bears for UK's FTSE, US Dow Jones and Japan's Nikkei as they all traded low at 0.77%, 0.18% and 2.28% respectively. And in the United States, more than 75,000 employers at Caso Permanente have begun one of the largest healthcare worker strikes in recent U.S. history on Wednesday after failing to resolve a dispute over staffing levels. The walkout at America's largest nonprofit healthcare organization comes amid an inflation surge, which has spurred strike actions to demand higher pay across the United States. The strike of union members at Caso Permanente began early on Wednesday at sites in Virginia and the U.S. capital, Washington. According to a statement posted on its website, Caso said it has put in place contingency plans to limit the impact of the strike, but warned customers to expect longer than usual wait times. Finally, on sports, a non-governmental organization, Making of Champions, has unveiled a school athletics championship that will help to unearth budding talent in the country. As a response to the growing concerns of lack of developmental initiatives to revive Nigeria's track and field prowess, the Athletics Championship, which is sponsored by a telecommunications company, will hold in 4 different cities in Nigeria from October to December 2023. Athletes discovered in the championships will benefit from different academic scholarships available through Making of Champions global partners.
We hope that this initiative contributes to their overall well-being and success in life, and the 10 best athletes discovered from the championship will join the Making of Champions Academy and have the chance to benefit from a structured training schedule which teaches them the importance of discipline, time management, and other valuable skills that they'll be able to bring in sports as well as in life. Secondly, MTN is committed to developmental sports, not just for the accomplishment of individual goals, right, but for national aspirations as well. The discipline, the rigor, and the passion is profitable for nation building, which our beloved Nigeria needs.
We know Nigeria has a storied history of having some of the best track and field sprinters in the world, just behind the United States and Jamaica, but we can overtake them, especially the Jamaicans, knowing full well that we literally quadruple their population, right? And in each of the cities, these schools already have been told about champs, and we want to engage them, mobilize them, and over 7,000 school kids all over. And with the grand finale in Abuja being the center of the nation, everybody comes together and competes under the flagship of champs.
Nigeria School Sport Federation, being the nursery bed that has the children that will be developed, we are doing developmental program. So Nigeria School Sport Federation has determined to ensure through competitions like this, we unearth these untapped budding talents that abound everywhere in the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. So we are not looking for our glory, we are looking at Nigeria at large.
With that, we wrap up News Now at this time. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.